What's going on, everyone? iLootGames here, back with another video, and in this video we're going to go over all the new POIs so you know exactly where they are, what they're called, and you know what to look for when you're in game. And a quick description, these were actually given out by the devs themselves, so these are very good descriptions of the place. And then also I want to talk to you guys about when the new season is starting so you know when it's starting in your time zone and what to prepare for. And hey, if you want to come join me on stream, I will be streaming it live at twitch.tv/iLootGames for those of you who cannot get there when it drops, because it does drop at a weird time. But first, I want to just thank you guys so much for all the support. In yesterday's video, we saw over 1,000 people subscribe. I know a lot of you are going to become subscribers before I hit that 100K mark, and I will not forget those of you who have supported me since the very beginning. So thank you all for joining the subscriber team, turning on the notifications, and being part of the family before we even hit 100K. You still have time to do it. Get in there. And if you do end up subscribing this video for the first time, leave a comment down below and let me know, and I will reply to it, or at least hit it with a like, because I want to show you that I actually do read all my comments, and I'm there. I'm reading you guys' feedback, and we're growing together. Let's do this. So the first thing I want to let you guys know, the new season drops tomorrow for me. I am in California, Pacific Standard Time. The season will drop at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, which is Wednesday, November 4th. Now, if you are in London, I know a lot of people have difficulties with time zones. If you are in GMT Greenwich time, you will be getting the drop at 4 a.m. on Thursday, November 5th, okay? And if you are in the Eastern Standard Time of the United States, since for some reason a lot of people don't understand time zones, you will be getting at 11 p.m. on Wednesday the 4th, tomorrow. If you are on the East Coast of Australia, AED time, you will be getting it at 3 p.m. on Thursday, November 5th. So I'm just trying to help everyone out. It's on the screen. I know a lot of people do not understand time zones for some reason, and I don't want to have to answer these questions and all the comments, because if you commented on yesterday's video, there's a good chance you got a reply from me, because I love to go through the comments. I've gotten a lot of solid feedback. Actually, one of the feedbacks was to add music to my video, so I'm adding it now. Let me know what you think. I always take suggestions, and I try to improve your experience on the channel. So now let's go ahead and get into the POIs so that you guys are prepared for tomorrow when we finally get the new season. And like I said, man, if you can't make it at 8 p.m., then come and join me on stream, and you can watch. I'll explore everything and we'll go in depth. And I'm also going to be live on Twitch right after this video dropping, so I hope to see you there too. Let's get into this. All right, so Dave here, the senior level designer on Apex, he released all the POIs and gave a little recap over them. So we're going to go ahead and look at them together right now so you can prepare for when the season drops, because I know it's a big issue of knowing where to rotate, knowing the names. I still don't even remember the names for a lot of the different POIs on the last map. So I'm definitely going to try to educate myself with you right now so we're prepared for the map. So we got the overview, which we've seen before. Beautiful map. I mean, look at this. Look at the artwork is insane on this map. It's so cool looking. We're going to go ahead and like skip over the stuff that we already know so we can summarize it and we don't make this into a long video. So traversing Olympus. Okay. The trident is one of the things we already know about. The only thing that I would say that stands out in this information is that the arc stars and Watson fences, for instance, can stall the vehicle for a moment. So now you know that you can use Watson fences to mess up the vehicles. The only other thing that stood out to me too is that they said the trident actually doesn't respawn if it goes off the map. So be aware of that. This is a cool one. This is the Phase Runner, and this has some details that I think you guys would want to see. So last but certainly not least is the Phase Runner, industrial-sized phase portal connecting 3 distinct areas of Olympus. This always-on static portal will phase players to and from specific locations. If the ring is pushing you towards hydroponics and you're stuck with no trident in sight, hop into the Phase Runner to phase you to the other side of the map. However, be cautious when using these, as you have no clue what's waiting for you on the other side. Players who are near these will see and hear a warning before other players come out, so be sure to always be prepared for combat when using the Phase Runner. So this is a really cool one. That's a big thing, is that apparently they will see like a light, a visual warning, and a sound warning when someone's about to come through. So this is going to be a very dangerous spot to just pop through, but it can be very valuable, and I think we're going to see a lot of cool plays with this. Now let's go over the POIs and let's start learning this map. So we got Velvet Oasis, 2 luxury apartments that offer mid to long range engagements across its sleek landscape. And guys, if you don't buy Apex skins, they're going to put Coca-Cola signs on this, so just be aware of that. I'm just kidding, I don't know if they are. Velvet Oasis is unique due to the choice of fight above ground or below, where luxurious Oasis Cafe can be found. Since most of the loot is focused inside, expect fights to break out between the two buildings. When below, the aquatic themed cafe can be found with high tier loot. However, be careful as there are plenty of pitfalls, and the only way topside is via zip lines. So this is Velvet Oasis. So you can see you got the velvet grounds all the way around. It's really pretty. Arcadia Super Carrier, a massive vessel last seen leaving the planet Talus. It assisted Olympus with transportation of arms, vehicles, scientific equipment, and personnel. Now this is actually, I believe, the rocket that is on our current map right now, so this is going to be a great place to fight. Players who enjoy close quarters combat will excel in breaching and defending this large POI. Defensive legends like Rampart, Watson, and Caustic will shine here, as this can also act as a choke point for players leaving to and from docks. That's the other thing, there's going to be a lot of interesting ways to get around. Zip lines, jump pads are going to be very important in this, because it's going to really help you get to different areas without having to go through these dangerous choke points. And we're going to see a lot of area where you can actually fall through the map. Docks, an open industrial pier where ships can refuel and cargo is transferred to and from Olympus. The mountain facade helps hide the dirty work that goes on here from those who wish to not see it. The long-range combat dominates this area. Expect to see snipers perched on the mini elevations looking for enemies rotating from Arcadia Super Carrier or Power Grid. With such a large zone, vehicles prove invaluable in rotating through this area. Primary Power Grid. To power such a large attraction takes a big effort. Power Grid is split into two halves, primary and secondary. Primary is a focus where most of the loot resides, while secondary is a smaller area, serves as a safer place to land away from the chaos. These two spaces are dense, full of alleyways, chokes, and multi-tiered buildings. The bridges between the two provide breathing room if you wish to engage from a longer distance. Otherwise, bring a shotgun, or two. Next one is Rift Aftermath. A massive explosion took place where the phase runner entrant used to be, splitting the zone apart. The resulting unstable rift floats within the zone's center. What remains in Rift Aftermath are three distinct loot-dense areas separated by open space and debris. You can enter the rift within the center at any time to face back through the phase runner and arrive near Hammond Labs. This is the largest POI in Olympus, so be certain there are no squads nearby before making a run towards the rift. The Trident once again proves to be very useful rotating through this open area. This is in that big dark area. This is a really cool looking one because when you're in this area, you can actually see this all moving. The black hole above you, and it looks really neat. So this is going to be a fun one to land. You see you got that like dark atmosphere. That's going to be exciting. The Central Turbine. Within the mountain facade lies this imposing circular location that houses spinning fans above and below. While loot is plentiful, this POI can be accessed from many directions at once, making this a tough nexus to defend. Keep your eyes open and your ears sharp, as players will need to move through here to access most areas on Olympus. Autumn Estates. Far from the greasy industrial clutter lies this idyllic property where those needing rest and relaxation can escape to. Residential housing for the wealthy are evenly distributed on golden brown plots of land. They need to put this in VR so I can just go and chill in this in VR chat, you know? As one of the smallest POI, this dense neighborhood boasts a mix of all kinds of intense combat. Those looking for CQC will be on ground, weaving in and out of each residential building, but watch out for those holding the stacked buildings in the middle. Expect to find King of the Hill style gameplay, as many of you will want to hold the high center ground and establish control of the chaos below. Find a weapon fast, or you'll be on your way out to either Farmstead or Hammond Labs. Hammond Labs, a stylistic, pristine building that sits in the center of a large open landscape. Waterfalls crest the peak of the Overwatch where the research basin resides. Enter cautiously to find out what Hammond was researching within. Nowhere is truly safe, as high overlooks focus inward toward the main central lab. This is a sniper's paradise. When inside, close quarter combat and plenty of loot await. Just be sure you're ready when leaving, as there is very little keeping you safe from onlookers outside. With multiple ways for teams to rotate in here, this can end up being a huge hotspot for multiple team fights. Try holding the high ground, defend the interior of the central lab, or rotate through to other zones. It won't be easy. Energy Depot. Slick clean with function over form. This industrial housing stores and charges hundreds of batteries that are used to power many of the assets throughout Olympus. Maintenance tunnels run underneath this top layer, giving access to frightening views of the clouds below. Watch your step, as there are plenty of pitfalls surrounding the open structure. Awareness is key. Make sure you plan your route through here carefully or suffer the consequences. Fastened next to this depot is the underpass below the partially destroyed Phase Runner. These long, narrow choke points will lead you to opulent Golden Gardens. And now, the Golden Gardens. This is a really pretty... I really like how they designed this one. Very futuristic, even though it kind of looks like a old, like, I don't know, like a VCR. Like a futuristic VCR. Retreat or experience privacy amongst multiple living spaces within this rich, luxurious environment. Golden Gardens offers layered gameplay with buildings stacked on top of one another for unique tactical combat. Many of these buildings have no doors but open entrances, so combat moves fast. Expect mid to long range skirmishes between each compound, with close quarters dominating the interconnected tunnels. Grow towers. I know what you guys are thinking right away. Come on, 420! Slowly rotating sniper perches of doom ×3. These ornate structures overlook a large agricultural landscape below. While moving up high gives you an advantage, the rotation of these structures poses a new challenge. You'll want to stand back far enough to avoid spinning or risk missing your shots. Down below lies a small underbelly with multiple utility buildings if you're scared of heights. However, expect close quarter combat here as opposed to long range up above. These imposed structures overlook a few choke points, so expect to be seen from afar when within their sights. Orbital Cannon Test Site. It's a welcome squad. Tucked far away from most of Olympus, surrounded by large unbreached walls, lies this slick military testing site. A large orbital cannon serves as the focal point for this zone, surrounded by an open air facility. Orbital cannon serves as a drop that is far from the center of Olympus, but dense with loot. There's plenty of space for multiple squads to own sections of the facility and for others to hold the exterior to smaller labs. Fights break out throughout the facility's tight corridors, so watch your flanks and check every room for stragglers. If this ends up looking too hot off the drop, there are smaller compounds surrounding the outer walls and a few ways to traverse up the walls to breach those still inside if you choose to. Solar Array. Olympus requires a lot of power, and this sector serves as one of many to keep this gravity-defying city afloat. This dense solar-powered sector acts as both a choke point and a POI. We've finally made it to the southern side of the map. This smaller industrial area is just as dense as Power Grid, but with addition of new flank opportunities. The central building sits up high as a sniper's ridge, surrounded below by a large pit with interconnected tunnels. The pit acts as a sneaky flanking route to offset the long-range combat that occurs above ground. While snipers rule above, shotguns and SMGs rule below, so think twice before using the tunnels. This smaller POI is also situated at a pseudo-choke. There are only a few exits and all of them lead to open areas, so be sure to check up high and plan your route accordingly. Bonsai Plaza. The crown jewel of Olympus, the spacious downtown is home to restaurants, cherry blossom gardens, and well-known Revere Lounge. I heard someone might have died there. This is a really cool looking one though. With stark verticality throughout, you'll want to drop and try to hold the Revere Lounge, which looks over most of Bonsai Plaza. Those on the ground can look forward to intense mid to long range fights, as each building can hold multiple squads. With plenty of loot to go around, there's only one trident on your way out, so be sure to plan accordingly when leaving or be met by the circle quickly. Hydroponics. Another one. We're gonna have so many 420 comments, I can see it. Within these sprawling agricultural grounds, rounded top buildings and iconic silos are arranged throughout. The curved farmlands and algae green pools add to its uniqueness. With a large number of high-tier buildings and a wide-open approach to design, multiple squads can be supported here. Long-range fights are common, so make sure your aim is on point or prepared to move. Decrepit tunnels can lead you safely to other parts of the POI without being seen, but you'll have a limited options if you're caught. If this area proves to be too much, you can very easily rotate to our final POI in Olympus, Elysium. Elysium, small, intimate, and very close quarters. Elysium is a small POI focused on skirmishes and if you want to take your girl on a date. This floating research vessel can only accommodate a few squads, so expect action very quickly. Those with snipers coming from hydroponics will probably want to carry a shotgun SMG to deal with the aggressive rushers throughout. Elysium floats off the edge of Olympus, so only 2 ziplines can take you and your squad on top. Some legends can be invaluable if you want more ways on board to command the vessel yourself. This is actually that the leaked POI that Shrug found. So this is really interesting to see this here. And then just their final recap. Olympus houses many challenges and playstyles for a very different experience than you're used to. The Phase Runner and Trident are exciting new tools to traverse to each zone. From the seedy underbelly of Energy Depot to the glistening Bonsai Plaza, Olympus will give you new experiences, new environments, and new ways to test your skills. The city awaits you. See you soon. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and leave on the screen right now as I finish up the the mini map. Let me know what you guys think of the different POIs, where you think you're gonna be landing, what looks hot. I know we already see pros on Twitter claiming their location for tournaments, and I think that's really funny. I'm excited for when this drops. A reminder once again that it drops tomorrow, which is the 4th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it is available right now to preload on Steam if you'd like to preload it on Steam. I'm excited about this. I can't wait. I will be streaming it live on Twitch when it does drop, so I hope to see you guys there. Join me for those who can't download it, or maybe you're laying in bed and you just want to relax and watch someone. I appreciate all of you guys that have been subbing and helping me get to my goal, and I will see you in the next video.